All right, recording has started. I'm going to go back to this. Going to present. Yep, it should be fine. All right. Hi. Thanks. There's extension there. That's the only one I could get really. With those. Yeah. Okay, so check-in time, and let me say welcome, guys. Welcome to Little Rock LLM and AI agent community. While it is physical, to be very honest, I'm glad today that we have people joining from different places. We'll still keep up with time, and I really appreciate you joining. This is the second time we're doing this. Last 2 weeks we were here, and I'm so glad because we have repeated, community member now. Rafia, Naya, thanks for coming. And you will attest to it that last time was a great time together. Yeah. There's water today. There's also pizza. There's drinks. And there's going to be swag giveaway. The swag is not here right now, but the next time we meet people that have wins that, we get it. Yeah, we have so many swags. So greetings. I'm already greeting everyone, and both here and there, and welcome. Let me recap this so that people can kind of be aware of what we are doing. Why are we doing this? Who are we first, and what are we doing? It's just a community of passionate people who wants to learn how to leverage AI in the agentic era. And to be very honest, where we are going, the ambition is very big. This is going to turn to a very global event that later this year, we're going to have a very big event that we have people, invited speakers, and they'll come from different places. So, and again, take note, invited speakers include you. As you are growing, you become a contributor to this community in different capacity. So you speak, you come to speak, you come to showcase your products, whatever you are building, you come to guide us through things, and you gain the visibility. So first thing here is every time we meet, all the co-organizers, we've said this, the moment our quality drops, we are not meeting again. I will send email to everybody that the community no longer exists. Why? We will not continue in mediocrity. Every time we meet here, there must be significant learning taking place. So be rest assured. And some people need this kind of community push so that they can come together, and every two weeks. This is why this is not just a once in a month engagement. It's every two weeks. If you can continue with that, there's no way you would not learn and strengthen your hand and your skill. So the goal is to be able to translate knowledge to skill. You have so many knowledge today. You are good with your work. You are good with what you are building, but there's just some additional skill we need to pick, especially AI skill. So we are coming together to learn. Number two, there's going to be opportunity for you to share. I will share several things today, and you will see scenarios that can inspire you. And in subsequent sessions, you will also be inspiring me based on what you are building. I know people are here. I need to face them. I need to connect with, my physical audience as well. So sharing, building. Today, for example, every time we meet, we're going to be having 2 practical sessions. There's going to be one for building, where we build things together. There's going to be one for breaking down technical papers. How do you implement a technical paper? How do you, and so if you look at the vision, it's not something that is small. It is huge. And grow. If you continue to learn with us, if you share what you're doing, if you are building, there's no way you will not grow. So we're giving visibility to everyone. So there's opportunity for everyone to learn and grow. And this is why, or this is what we stand for. We want to continue to hear you. This QR code here, we also send it via link. It's just for you to share about yourself and what you want the community to do to serve your learning need, your learning and skilling needs. This will inform our curriculum, our team that is going to run for several months, and the kind of things we'll be bringing to the community. So we encourage people to always fill that form. Of course, we'll send every of those information back to you. Yeah. You're wondering, you're going to have this many times. Last time, I was the one trying to check in, but today there's opportunity. You can just scan the QR code and let me know how smooth was that experience. So there's online check-in. Everyone online, you can scan this as well. You can go to the link And when you get there, you just check in. Just if you have account already, you tap on a button. If you do not have a ticket for this event, you can still check in. You just have to it's going to ask for your name and details and claim a ticket for you. All right. I've checked in. You will still have opportunity for that as well. Let me give some to you. Seconds. If you're online at any point in time, you can easily unmute because I can't see what is happening right now. You can easily unmute and then reach out to talk in case you want to call our attention to something, in case someone drops something in the chat, feel free. And if I can say this, the link to this meeting right now is open. Anyone can join. So if you can even put it on your status or share in any group, just encourage someone to come. Don't worry. We will deliver and meet the expectation. You just invite them. You'll see the time they will spend here will not be wasted. They can join online. So I will appreciate if you can just grab the link to the team to the Google Meet and put on your status or put any group that you have your clicks and you think that, yeah, these people should also learn this. They will thank you for that later. So first thing that we're going to start today. Don't worry. Hello guys. There's Mike. Okay, I think this make more sense. Get to connect with the audience. So the first session we're having today is catching up with the latest in AI, LLM. Every time we meet, we look at the last 2 weeks, what has happened, and how are those things going to change the landscape. So there are several things that has happened, several things, to be very honest. We have Microsoft Build, we have Computex by NVIDIA Interpay, we have Google doing their magic with the Gemma. I'm going to explain that later. We have new frontier open source model released, many things. So, but we're going to see some of the top 3 that I picked and we're sharing today. Okay, this is the first one. LM Studio release. Of course, they have LM Mobile before. Let me recap. LM Studio is one of those open source platforms that gives people ability to run AI on their device. So if you have a computer, if you download LM Studio application, it will allow you to download open source model from Hugging Face. Most likely Hugging Face is the main repository. You download from Hugging Face and then you can run that open source model on your device. That's crazy. So it depends on the power of your device. We have Olama as well. Olama does similar thing, just that Olama does not plug to Hugging Face. They optimize model themselves and they serve some of these open source model on the cloud. And while some that are small enough for you to download, you can download them on your device and run. By running, they give you an interface, a UI UX where you can, it just look like ChatGPT, where you can send text, you can engage with that model, you can also upload file, and you can do RAG on top of that file, which is retrieval augmented generation, where AI kind of index the document you upload and you can then ask questions about the document. More importantly, they also offer this terminal endpoint, which we're going to use today in our practice. We're going to use Olama, where when you run the model, you can also connect with the model to do other things like an API. So today, most frontier lab and product used in the cloud, they call OpenAI, Anthropy API endpoints whenever they are doing some AI tooling. But today, what we're going to do instead of calling OpenAI Anthropy, we're going to call the model that is on your device. And that model is going to get something done. All right. So this is very significant because LM Studio is one of those companies that give us these tools that make it easier to run open source model on your device. And they acquire one company products. I won't say company. They acquired a product called Locally. Locally is a mobile, their mobile app. This guy also have a similar product that I built called My Local AI. It's the same technology, the same concepts, but they have already fine-tuned theirs. Where you can, on your device, you can download open source model and run natively on your device. I mean, Peter, you tried my local AI, sometimes, but locally similar fashion, and they are ahead of me because they started before. I only use mine for learning purpose, and it was great. So on the mobile app, you can chat, just look like ChatGPT, but again, it's powered by local AI. This is great because intelligence is costly. All this endpoint now, we've said this repeatedly, it is costly. When you build a product that will perform magic, then you must be using the high tier frontier model API endpoint. Before you know what is there, several tokens, millions of tokens have been consumed. Millions of tokens have been consumed, and you end up with hundreds of dollars, So, but this make it possible for you to run this locally. Now, when LM Studio acquire locally, which is a mobile app, they now do some work with them and make it possible that you can now use this mobile application, but your model is not running on the mobile. The disadvantage of a mobile device is limited memory. This is 8 gig of RAM. But you have a MacBook or a system that have up to 128 gig of RAM. So it has ability to run more capable model, run them faster and better. The only model you can run on this are the Gemma edge-to-edge model, Gwen small series, which is limited in what they can do. And sometimes your phone will hang because it's loading too much of context. So what they've done is, like February this year, I think January, LM Studio introduced what we call LM Link. This right there, LM Link. LM Link allows you to run a model on a computer and access that same model on another computer. So when you, for example, we have two Mac there now, Peter load LM Studio and download 4 billion parameter model, and probably Peter's laptop is at home. Ayo can be here and open his own LM Studio and run a prompt, and the model that is powering that prompt is not loaded on Ayo's laptop. It's directly from Peter's laptop. So meaning you have a data center that is supplying you your, that is powering your intelligence. So they introduced LM Link, which I used very well. In fact, today I'm going to use it because I have a much more capable device at home, which is running LM Studio, and I can connect rightly on my phone or even on the Mac Mini right there. And they now port that technology to the mobile. So the new locally that they acquired, they now do the porting in such a way that when you use it today, you can be running AI on your phone, but what is powering the AI is your device that is sitting somewhere. So now, even AI, for example, take a look at this. This is Gemma 4, 31 billion parameter model is running on MacBook Pro M5 Max. 31 billion parameter model is very big. And you are running that on phone, and your phone is the one, and you'll be having that correct intelligence, almost the rate of GPT 4.0 level of intelligence. So it is the latest and it's game changer. It just means that if you have a capable device somewhere that you buy, you can get more value from your investment in hardware. Or your investment in AI hardware can yield more profit, because even when you travel somewhere else, you can still be using that for some things. And by the way, the tokens we use today are subsidized. All this OpenAI, ChatGPT, they cannot continue this way. Over time, they're going to open up the true cost of these tokens, and intelligence is costly. Now, secondly, Google released Gemma 4 12 billion parameter model. This is, some people that wonder, what is this again? This is open source, but to be very honest, Google is up to something crazy. I wanted to ask, but yeah, do the magic. Thank you. So please, if you're online, can you just make some noise so that, sorry. I just want to have some sign that you guys are following up so that I don't lose the people online. Yeah.
We are, don't worry. We are listening to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh, Bola. Wow. Thanks. So, Gemma 4, the reason why this is crazy is because 12 billion parameter model is the sweet spot. meaning you can run that on your 24 gig RAM, you can run that on even higher RAM. People avoid releasing this model for any reason I don't know, because 12 billion is a sweet spot that can cause some disruption in the market. People can stop going for any flash model because the performance of any flash model today, this guy can give you if you're running on a probably 64 gig RAM of device, because it give you the speed and also give you the intelligence. So all of a sudden, Google released this, and I'm really surprised, because the smallest we have that is close to big capable model is 9 billion parameter from Gwen. And after that 9 billion, you are going to 27 billion parameter. So nobody is coming to give you something small in between, because the moment they give you that, more hardware can run that kind of intelligence, and people rely less on this frontier model API endpoint without paying them. So these are really, thanks for coming. This is a really interesting release. Again, they released two versions. After the 12 billion, they also released the QAT, which is the quantization aware training. Google released a framework recently this year, I think February or March, where you can do KV caching, but on your device in a form that reduce the speed and, let me look at it this way, reduce the speed and, no, increase the speed, but of course does not reduce the size. So meaning, when you run this quantization aware training model or framework, and you apply it on your own solution, it does this KV caching in a way that is very effective. Your model can retrieve information faster than before, almost 2 times faster in some instances. So this model, they also proved that this is even way better. This is the 12 billion parameter model, 6.7 gig for the Q4 quantization mode, which is 4 bits. The real one, which is the full mode of the model itself, is the full weight is 16 bits. It's 26.7 billion parameters. So if you have a 64 gig RAM, yeah, you're going to get a lot of intelligence. This guy is about performance of GPT 4.0. So running that on your device is crazy. And when you go for the 4-bit quantization, that's just 6.7 billion parameter. Do you have any question?
The question I was saying, like the RAM size, for example, like Mac Mini, what's the memory size?
Yeah, so Mac Mini start from 16 gig, but you can upgrade up to 64 gig for Mac Mini Pro.
Like upgrade with Apple?
Yeah, or Apple. Yeah, for the RAM. SSD is what you can manage.
This Gemma for 12 billion parameters.
Yes.
6.7 gig. Is that like the memory size, like the Q4?
Yeah, this is the memory size. Yes. Yes. So if you have a device that is 8 gig RAM, obviously you can't run this. Because you can't run this, because it will load 6.7 gig into the memory, and your device needs memory for many other operations. Yeah. It will start hanging. So you need room. You need some room. All right. So yeah, I can run this 4 gig 12 billion parameter model today on my phone. I'll show you that. Next, NVIDIA Computex event. I watched everything. And to be honest, I don't know how Jensen is coping. That guy is one, people don't talk much about him, but I have so much respect how technically sound he is to run such any form of NVIDIA conference and deliver the keynote speech for 2 hours, just talking about different things. It's on a different level. It's on a different level. And what did they do that's kind of changed the industry? They are releasing CPU. For a very long time, NVIDIA has been a GPU company, both for data center, both for devices. Of course, they claim that in their data center GPU for trying to remember their old generation, and the latest one is Vera Rubin, but I'm trying to remember the other one. That the older generation, the last 2 years, last 3 years, they have their own CPU inside of it, which is doing the orchestration and the intelligence for routing, but they've not released any CPU mainstream. So finally, they are building a CPU by NVIDIA. And some companies are already partnered with them, Microsoft and the rest, and it's called RTX Pack. In fact, Microsoft is releasing a device later in summer, which is called Surface Ultra. That Surface Ultra will come with about 128 gig of RAM, and it's going to be using NVIDIA RTX Pack. And they say it has it can load. This one petaflop is about memory bandwidth. I believe for the model to do so much in terms of the memory bandwidth, that is nothing is close to this today that we have. And my conspiracy theory is this. I've said this, that 2026 is the year of small large language model. That kind of a model, that kind of a device that have this ability, and you are giving Google then release 12 billion parameter model, Gemma. If you run that model on this kind of device, that's the true definition of unmetered intelligence, because you just don't have to pay for anything. Many of your operations, personal usage, you don't have to pay for anything. So, of course, there are a few other things that was released, but these are the three that we are lighting. Again, you can run on your own phone now, you can run local model that is running on a device, and you can access that directly via your phone. Gemma, Google released Gemma 12 billion parameter model, and NVIDIA is releasing the CPU now that has the ability to power more Windows devices, meaning they can then become much more capable than before. Yes.
Because when you say that Google is using the model, when you're using that model for your personal use, are you just like calling an API, or do you? Because I know probably the data they use to train the model is probably too large for me to store in my own device. So how does that work?
Yeah, good. So model is like a black box, but when they train a model and they build the model, there's something called model weights. In machine learning, traditional concept, when you build your model, after you are done, you can save your model in two different major formats. You can have a Pico file, or what this other file, or there's a second name for the model. It's just a black box, just a file that has so many numbers in it, but those numbers are the weight. So that because it's been trained, that weight is the file size that we're talking about here, that time. So it's already on a repository where you can download from, which is Hugging Face. That's why they often release open source model tool. You download, and then on your device, because it's a black box, which again, we're going to be demystifying how to build something like that. Black box, but the weight is explainable because there are numbers. These are numerics and so many things. That when you throw in and you type something and you send it to the agent, because there's an harness, it loads the model into memory, and because of number is predictions, it's looking for what is the next token point, what is the next token based on what you send in as input, and based on the weight of the model, is able to predict the next point and then give an output to you. Okay, this is it. It looks intelligence. That's because it's trained on vast amount of data, and the approach also make it look like that, but it's still prediction. So when you say a model, you download on your device, and when you download it on your device, the tool you are using to access it is what gives you that interface where you can send a command, reach out to the model, send your input to the model. Model does the prediction, what is the next looking point, gathers everything and return the result to you. But that happens in milliseconds that you can't even notice. But that's how it works. We'll see a very small example today. Now, we are moving to the next phase. The best way to predict the future is to build it. This is a very good quote, because today we are building something. The best way to predict what next you want to do, best way to predict the level of skill you want to have is actually to build it. So 0 to app in 30 minutes. Make me laugh. Sorry, this is not a comment. Yeah, last time I spoke here, I mentioned that comedy is my second dream job, but nobody laughed. But today, I'm also continuing in that line. We're going to build an application today called Make Me Laugh. So simple, tricky, but the application we try to take in some input and make you laugh. So, but how is it going to happen? We see okay, check in. If you have not checked in, please scan the QR code and check in. It's working. Right, we are moving gradually, and later I will share my full screen and we can start building. Right, few seconds. Done? Yeah, cannot log in. No, continue. So this is the application we're trying to do. This is the architecture of the application. Signed in?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm taking.
Oh, good. Oops. Oh, it's the same one. Oh, it's not. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, interesting. So, so this is what we're trying to do. We are building an application that will have a UI where you can just talk to and have controls. This is the platform we are building today. When you build this, it's going to send a text. Make me laugh about this topic and the rest. It's going to send that to a local node server on your system. I've sent the requirement that we should download some things on our system. And this is going to call an API endpoint, which is going to build alongside. Then Ulama. If you download and install Ulama on your system and we load the model, the moment the model is loading, the terminal is accessible for you to call the model. So it's going to call Ulama. This is a default port for Ulama, 11434. It's going to call at this port. Any model that we load doesn't have to be Gwen 3.5. And it will make the predictions, return joke as JSON. Then this will receive. It's going to pass it back to you. And the final result is going to be 5 jokes. You're going to say, oh, about this topic, 5 different jokes. Did you laugh at any of them? Yes or no? No.
Is it taking feedback?
If you want to build a feedback into it, you can do it, but it's not a chat interface. What we are trying to demonstrate today is you build this tool. How can you use a local device on your machine to power any application that you want to build? Your application can be different functionality. Your application might be something that does classification, that does something, but instead of you using any source of any OpenAI or any public endpoint, you are using the device, the model running on your device. So I'm just using this as a use case where the application we're going to build, you type in the text, you send it, because it's not a chat interface, it's an application that has input and then do some processing and return the result. So type in, take the input, send it to Llama on your device, return jokes, pass it, and then show you 5 jokes and it pop up and dissolve. Right. So if you want to download the resources we will use, I've put together a spec document and design system. If you scan this, take it to our GitHub, and we're going to use it there. Or you can just download that on your system. The link is in your mail. If you receive any reminder email that says go to resources to download to install before this event, you've not got it. Did you register for the event at all?
No, I registered the previous one.
Okay. Let me find a way to get the link to you. All right. Your Mac, you use iPhone.
Yeah.
Just scan this and then automatically copy. Yeah, you even scan and copy. It's copied, then just paste. All right. So this is where I need people online to be very vocal because I'm going to be leading hands-on session now. And so in case you are lost, you need to just unmute and talk. This is the time to also get on your system. It's time to build. It's a simple use case. In fact, the goal of this session is not really to show you how to write code. We're going to use coding agents to do this. So this is not about writing code. It's rather understanding that you can use models that are on your device to power your solution, any product you are building. All right. No, it's just you see the 2 markdown file inside the repository. Those are the design system and what we're using. We're going to be using today. Okay, we're not here yet. So I'm going to just share my entire screen now. Yeah, thanks, Jason, for me. You've helped to share the link in the share entire screen. Okay. I'm not even sure what ID I should use today. Maybe I should use Visual Studio Code or Codex or so interesting. Docker installation Codex was not open because oh yeah. Hmm? You don't need to clone it, just the resources are inside there are two files there. Yeah, there are two Markdown files. There are two. You only need to download two Markdown files inside the repository. Let me even.
Ola,
Yes.
for this kind of experience, I think using VS Code is great because you have the IDE experience, full experience, instead of the only agentic you have on Codex. So going on with VS Code will be better.
Yeah. Okay. I'll think about it.
Okay.
But thanks. Okay, so let me. Yeah, I'm gonna just go to GitHub directly here so that we can just see that. Okay, this is what I no. So no. That particular one is LR. Yeah, docs, build, make me laugh. This is the two files you need. This HTML and the Markdown. I put them already on my system. These two files, you need them. If you don't even know how to see, there are so many things you can do with if you don't know how to do them. You can use agent. Okay, I want to assume that you don't have you have Visual Studio Code or Codex or any of those things installed on your device. They can always help you with downloading or do anything regarding the Markdown file. If you open the Markdown file like this, here you can download raw file. But even if you don't know how to operate all of these things, you can still talk to your coding agent. Either you are using Google Anti-Gravity, either you are using Visual Studio Code, either you are using Codex, either you are using GitHub or Claude. Is it called Claude Desktop now? Yeah, or Claude Desktop, any of your coding agents. Remember, like I said again, this isn't about showing me how to write lines of code. Even the learning and education, you're going to learn that with the coding agent. Next time we're coming, we're bringing someone who uses AI to create training curriculum and classes for students here in Little Rock. So it's going to come to show us exactly how to use AI to learn. Because as you are building this alongside, you need to learn a lot of things. And how can you, in the midst of getting AI agent to do something for you, how can you also learn along the way? So, and that's how you download that. But let me look for some prerequisites. First, I want to believe that you have downloaded the prerequisites, which is setup guide. If you go through the setup guide, specifically, I pointed to this video for some reason because most of the things we need, they're already inside here. You need to download Node on your system. You need to download Git if you have not ever downloaded Git before, because if you want to commit your code to GitHub, you also need Git. We're going to use agent to do all of these things. I'm not here to show any line of codes, but you need to have the tools necessary installed. Olama, you can see even step to download Olama. You download Olama. I'm just going to do some check. This is Olama right here on my screen. I'm just going to open it up. So this is Olama. Just a desktop app. It also has a terminal UI where I can go to my terminal and right in terminal, I can type Olama. Okay, yeah. You type Olama is just the same thing as starting up Olama. Do you want to chat with a model? Do you want to launch Olama Cloud Code? In fact, Olama and LM Studio can power your Cloud Code. They can power your Codex app. They can power your MS agent. They can power your Open Cloud. Meaning, if you have a device that is capable enough and you have downloaded a model that is capable enough, you can use that same local model to be the driver for your coding. That is amazing. So this is Olama, and we have just one. This Gemma 3, 1 billion parameter model. There are several other models. Anyone you see cloud mean is too big, and Olama did not release it to be downloaded on your device. So when you are using it, is accessing Olama via the model via cloud. Anyone that has this download mean it is downloadable. Now, your device might not have the ability to run some of them. Maybe there's no space, but they make sure that anyone that is downloadable are small enough on devices. Like this Gemma, the default one is going to be Gemma 4E to B. I think so. I think that is what they often put there. If I send, oh, interesting, Gwen 3.6 series is here now. If I send a command, hello, it will start downloading the model because the model is not that. Imagine this model is 8.9 gig. That's the model weight. 8.9 gig. So I'm doing this so that you can take some time to download Olama. If you have not downloaded that before, go to that link. You can even go to your web browser, type Olama, download. You're going to download that on your device. For LM Studio, similar thing. You type LM Studio, if you download LM Studio on your device. I have LM Studio already. Yeah, we are downloading Olama. You don't need LM Studio. Olama, O-L-L-A-M-A. So this is LM Studio, just walking through. There's even a new version. Let me just update that now. Yeah. LM Studio, it has its own chat interface, which is where we are right now. You can chat, you can customize your window, you can create folder, but you also have terminal. It has its own terminal too for developer mode and all these API endpoints. You can see LM Studio API. These are the API endpoints. We can also use that for today, but we're just using Olama. It has OpenAI compatible API endpoint, Anthropic compatible API endpoint. And here you can see the models you have downloaded, model that is accessible to you. These are models downloaded in my LM Studio. And LM Studio give you option for both different type of models, text generation and even text embedding model. You can download text embedding model. Here you can search for model. Crazy, there are thousands of models available here, including right here is the Gemma 4, 12 billion parameter. Several models. NVIDIA also released NVIDIA Nemotron Ultra. Nemotron Ultra model, about 300 something billion parameter model. Is it 300 or 500 billion parameter model? So, but no way, our device cannot take this. LM Studio will tell you if your device can run what versions. So for example, this device now I can download Gemma 4 12 billion parameter model. It can run because it has different quantization. Quantization is just a way to compress a model so that the file size, it's small. It's not going to be as intelligent as the full precision, which is the FP16. But this is what my machine can run based on the memory. If I go to one that is bigger, it's going to tell me that my device cannot run that one. For example, this model now. Let's see. Yeah. There's even at this 8-bit self, it can still run 8-bit, but it's definitely going to recommend the sweet spot. Oh, this is the sweet spot based on your hardware. This is the option that is recommended. And for LM Studio, you're going to see two different variants. GGUF. This is the default. There are 3 extension files for open source model. Extension file, just the way we have the .pdf. We also have 3.
Can we do your live stream?
You see the image. I got to remember that.
Yes.
So Wi-Fi. Are you connected to the Wi-Fi? Okay.
Maybe I can use that has something to your life.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Am I? Okay. Join from things.
I don't understand.
All right. So there are three file extension for open source model, just the way you have .pdf or PDF files. Any open source model have three. There's Tensor. Tensor is the raw format. So most platforms you won't see Tensor files there, but after that they worked on it and you have the GGUF or the MLS. GGUF runs on all device, Mac and Windows, but MLS is optimized for Apple machine learning, system. So if you're on Mac, you can only run MLS version on Mac. GGUF can run on both Linux, can run on Windows, can also run on Mac. And MLS version will run faster on Mac. The same model run on Windows, the same model being run on Mac will be faster on Mac because of MLS. It's optimized for Apple ecosystem. 2 days ago, I think yesterday, NVIDIA, there's this update from LM Studio and Olama that the GGUF version has now been optimized to run better as well on NVIDIA GPU devices. So don't let me cause any distractions. I'm just using that to explain what LM Studio is, why we download Olama. I have Olama installed. Let me see if that model is downloaded completely. No, it still remains small. Yeah. Which model? I'm only testing with the model. This one is even a bigger model. It's going to be, by default, this Gemma 4 is going to be Gemma 4 E to B, most likely to be, is what this guy is downloading right now. It's done downloading, and now it's loaded. It will load it into memory, and then we'll be able to respond to me. You can't find. Download which one? What can you not find? Which of them? You also have you installed like drag and drop? It should be in your download. And what can you not find? Can't find the app. Oh, you have Olama. And you have seen Olama.
No.
Check, because this is Apple Silicon, this is Intel Silicon.
Yeah.
Check Llamas about. I don't have that. It could be that there's a variant for that.
No,
There's a compatible model. Check.
no.
This series is not series. Check Olama.
Yeah, like, the other two people, even though they're person.
What's is this? Is it interesting?
What email do you
I don't know.
Hola,
Yes.
since you are far from the microphone, can you do like a quick summary of the issue attendants are facing there? So just in case other people are facing the same issues online, you can, direct them on the right solution.
Thank you, my brother. So we had issues with compatibility. Some of the devices here are hold that does not. They are the hold version. After 2020, Apple started releasing the M series silicon, and there's also previous to that time there's Intel silicon. So we found out that Llama, the latest versions now, LM Studio, they are not working on Intel silicon for Apple. They only work on M series. So those were the issues we face here. But on Windows, you shouldn't have that issue. I expect Windows to be compatible. So you need M1 series upward for your Mac for those to work. Can you try the command line? Yeah, the command line for installing Olama. Is your answer? Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to close this. It's working. Oh. Yeah, it's at the point of installing. Okay, so I don't want to take too long time. Yeah. So let me just quit this guy and let's go to the actual building. Yeah, I'm going to create a folder. Open. So create a folder and you can call your folder Make Me Laugh. I'm going to call my MML Make Me Laugh. That's the project, that's the folder where you want to build this platform. Remember, we just want to build an interface where you can use to talk to a model that is running locally on your device. Yep. I've clicked on open. If you are using Codex, depends on whatsoever solution you're using. If you're using Cursor, if you're using any of those, you just have to come over here and work in a project. Use an existing folder. Go to wherever it's being saved. Yes. Yes. And click on open. And that way you're able to see this one right now. Codex is inside the MML folder. On my VS Code is also there. So there are two things I want to share, which is the document that we've downloaded. Let me open Claude so that you can see how I worked on that. Oops. So in this age, this is just one of the way you do things. You don't necessarily have to, always crack your head if you're wondering, how do I think through this idea? What do I create? I just want to quickly scroll through where I came up with the design system. Okay, yeah. So I was planning for this event and I said, I need to be able to do a use case. I was brainstorming with Claude just to, on this use case, I was brainstorming with Claude and I had a very hard time yesterday. I traveled to Memphis. I came back tired. So it was giving me some idea that I do not like. Then all of a sudden I just, okay, I think I like the, let's do this, something to make me laugh. Yeah, we're talking about different suggestion, feedback classifier. That's not good enough. My mind is telling me, my mind is just, my mind was busy yesterday. But this is where, can you describe what we are trying to do? Yeah, describe it. I felt this is not what it is. Then I think this is where I had it. So I finally said, how about make me laugh, a make me laugh app? I type and describe anything it should make me laugh about. It cracks the 5 different jokes that automatically pop up and dissolve. And if I laugh, then it wins. This isn't about the gaming, but rather the use case. How should we think about this? See, anything you want to do today, don't be deceived. You need to, I always recommend start with either ChatGPT, OpenAI, or Claude. Use the chat interface. Don't use the coding interface. The reason why I use the chat interface is because these tools are becoming more capable in memory now. Over time, they know the kind of solution you have been building, the approach you use for the last one, it becomes easier. So when it's thinking, it knows you better when it comes to brainstorming an idea and building out the artifacts. So this is where I finally, got it. And you agree with me that this is, by the way, Opus 4.8 doesn't agree easily. So if this is saying something, you should know that, okay, I think this is a better idea than about 7 or 8 of that it has given me in the past. So even when that was done, I asked it to write it up in a well-documented markdown file. The app should be able to present some additional option, few things that I need. I also send that. Remember, it will be powered by Olama. Okay, then I went to Mobin. I always recommend this. Mobin is a platform where you see UI UX, all major applications. Hundreds of them, even now, they're still featuring over 1,000. Continue. Yeah, they Dribble, Behance, and the rest, they've been there before, but they are people created products. Yeah, but these are already existing applications, all those tools and solutions. So if you want all the screens, they've sat down, they've extracted them, they are here. So when you go to web, you can see anything that looks like what you like. I like this team now. If you click on it, you see all their screens, including their marketing screens, every navigation on this application. Almost all. There are hundreds. So what you do is you copy, click on copy, paste. And that's what I did for the one I want to use. I copied those screens, I pasted that I like this kind of design. Please create a design system from this reference image. Do not copy the text. Otherwise, AI is just going to generate pop-ish design for you and the buttons, different places. It becomes easier to spot this is AI. But when you are giving it a design system that is well created, you'll be blown away what it's going to come up with. So that is how it went ahead and designed a design system. I don't like this. It gives me a visual representation. Okay, it has updated it. The very first one was bluish. I said they should remove the blue. You see, let's not make the blue dominant color. I prefer other subtle colors. So this is the design system that I have. A mixture of these colors, the text, the buttons. This is good. When you give this to the AI, it's able to do a lot because it understands how buttons should look, what is the checkbox, the color choices, the gradient. It will give you a much more better solution. All right. So that is this is where I was correcting the color that did not make it blue, use other color, and this is the final design system, which I can download. And that is what I put, that's the HTML file I put inside the GitHub. That's what you have downloaded. So I have the folder, and I can just drag the file there. Then my download, go to download. This is the file. Put in the keyboard. I put the file there. So we have the files. This is the HTML file for the design system. This is the spec or PRD for the application. I don't need to bother myself with it. This is the walkthrough. The moment you do your brainstorming with Claude Chat or ChatGPT or Google Gemini, and you go back, the next phase is go to your terminal, your IDE, whatever coding editor you are using, either direct, terminal, or the rest, codex, extension, anything. I'm going to launch my terminal and use, I'm going to use Claude. I often run Claude dangerously skip permission. So if I'm using Claude, dangerously skip permissions. All right. So this is going to launch Cloud Code Chat in my terminal. This is starting for the first time. I'm not sure I've even used that on this device. So this is going to be the first setup experience. Cloud account with subscription. Yeah, Cloud account with subscription is going to log in there, authorize, and yeah, and that's authorized. So just enter, press enter. Yes, use recommended settings. Yes, I trust this folder. Yeah, bypass permission no exist. Yes, I accept. Use high effort. Yes. Oh, finally, we are here. So if you are using Codex, if you are using Cloud Code, if you are using Google Anti-Gravity, use the right-hand side there, the panel there. I can still use Codex right here and still chat. But the next thing to do is to then go over the same document, this same Markdown file, because this is the agent that is going to help you to build your product. So the first one is ideation. You have done that, and the reason why you were doing that is because over time, if you do that in this coding editor, it doesn't keep your memory across all chat sessions. Meanwhile, the chat interface does that. So, and that improve over time, understanding you, how to help you brainstorm on ideas and application and the rest. And once you are done with that, in fact, you could go there one day because you just need, what are the products I'm working on? Can you write a profile for me about it? It's going to write it about you based on the things you have been building, based on the chat you've been having with it. So there's more advantage in going to those chat interface to brainstorm on the idea you want to build. And when you come back here, the next phase in the workflow is to then ask questions about the same PRD and all the information you have there. So my first chat question is just going to be go through. Okay, I'm going to use my tool. I want you to go through the information, the resources in this project folder, analyze it and let me know what you think. Is it of good quality? What is missing and what is not? Interesting. So the demo god want to disappoint me. I refuse. This product here is built by yours sincerely. This is Otter AI that allows me to talk. And when I talk, it easily, it just converts it to text. So this is it. I expect this guy to work now. Let me test. Go through the project folder and analyze whatever you find there and let me know what you think. What do we get right about our description and what do we need to update? The button. So, okay, I can come back here. There's an update to this device. Let me just update it. Check for updates. You're up to date. Interesting. Okay. All right. Might have to type with my hands now. I don't like that. Is the mic source? Is the microphone source? Even though it's speaking, Osmo, no, I have a microphone. Let me use, yeah. And let me try once again. I want you to go through this project. Okay. Couldn't transcribe. Sorry that I'm taking the time. Let me check the model that is running. Fast, small model, available model, refresh. Okay, all of those are turned off. Run setup. Continue. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's not there. Testing microphone. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. I might have to restart my system. There's a system update, but that shouldn't be the issue. All right, so I'm going to type updates review. Yeah. Okay, so go through the projects folder, analyze the information there, and let me know if we are good to build. So the expectation is you go through this description, you want to analyze what is there because you are using coding agent, let the coding agent also, which is the one, the harness is the same cloud model, but the harness is different. One is in the cloud, one is a terminal harness. They are both different because this one is optimized for building and the other one is general purpose, just answering your questions and being a helpful assistant. So you need to give it to the guy who will do the building to go through it and check what do you think is missing. So yeah, and this is the description. This is the final result. Project Make Me Laugh, what you have, 2 web prepared files, no code yet. The spec is thorough. It covers, okay, good requirement, Ulama installed, it has checked that. Ulama server running, it has checked that. Node.js, I have it. NPM is there. One thing to flag, the spec default to Gwen 3.54 billion, but that model isn't pulled. Your local models are, these are the models that are pulled on this device. So Gemma 4 latest is the best fit you have right now. It's capable enough for structured JSON, so we're going to use Gemma 4 latest. Verdict, you are good to build. The spec, the design system, runtime, and toolchain are all in place. The only decision before starting is which model to target. Use Gemma 4 as is, or pull Gwen 3.54 billion first. Want to pick a model and kick things off? Yeah. So what we are doing now, you don't just give it to a model and start building. In fact, if you don't know, if you are confused with certain part of the product, this is time to ask questions. You're going to ask questions to do that. I want to clarify something before I build, and I'm just going to give that back to this model. Yes, let's use Gemma 4 latest. Also, let's make sure Ulama is warmed up. So the reason why I'm using this description is because I've built multiple things in the past that I understand when I'm using local model. If the local model is not warmed up, when you call it, it's going to start loading it at that very first time. So, and that creates latency. So making sure it's warmed up, there's a way it's warmed it up in a way. It's just like starting the tunnel through which is going to send the command. It started, it's open. So anytime you call, it just gives you the result and it's look more faster. Let's make this Gemma model 4 latest and let's make sure that Ulama is warmed up. And yeah, okay. I still want to also type something regarding timing for the timing. Let's just, it has no discretion. Once this is done, I'm going to, you said the font for the screen. Okay, I don't know the command now. I can ask. Oh, view, okay, view. Editorial, appearance. Oh, yeah. Oh, command equals, okay. Let's use it. Yeah. I don't need this every time, so this is going to be, like that. I'm going to close this. Yep. All right, so Gemma 4 is loaded and responding. Key start from the warm-up. Yeah, it has done the warm-up. Let me warm up Gemma 4 with a quick test request. Everything is ready. Want me to start building the app. Now, I'm going to stop here and show you something because there's an upgrade. So I want to use the upgraded. This device is old with the version. So I'm just going to exit and upgrade. Brew. Is it Brew install now? Yeah, it's Brew, but it's the native this thing. Install code. So I'm trying to update to the latest version because they have this latest version now that install auto code run, install cast or atom. I don't know atom to install this. I'm updating. Okay, That is installed. Back to Claude just skip permission. Brew upgrade. Oh, it's brew up. I need to upgrade. So I will do that again. I can, by the way, I can directly just open a new tab here. I'll just close and exist. So view, upgrade, Claude code. So when it's done, all I just have to do here is to close this time, exit and start it so that I can pick it up. I can pick up the. Okay, it's done. So if I come over here, because Claude Entropy released dynamic workflow, and that's what we're going to use today, so that I can just see that. Dynamic workflow, when you go to efforts, you're going to see this max. When you go to that max intelligence, it turns to dynamic workflow. In fact, these people did not even have, there's a design. Oh, Opus 4.7. Hey, this is a very old this thing. Why is it model? How am I still using a 4.7? Is it 4.7? Interesting. Oh, okay. Efforts. Let me go to effort. This machine is not I. I just need I. This is not a to add this thing. All right. So we have our file. I've done two things because of this model. They are wondering why did I ask to warm up? I just explained. As you continue to build tools on local device that is going to use it on local device, you want to warm it up. Just give the model that knowledge that let's do it in a way that when this application is running, Olama get warmed up. All right. So now is the time to build. I'm going to use goal. I'm just going to say let's build out this application according to specification. I'm going to say pursue it as a goal. Yeah. Use / goal. Goal was first introduced by Codex. Goal is really good because when you put a goal and you describe what you want to do within Codex, Codex use goal. When you just use goal, go like this, it will not stop until it's resolve that issue or until build that feature throughout completely. And that is very, very, in fact, some goal could run for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. They're constantly running. If you have the token to get them. So, Entropy pulls similar feature to so where you can run a goal. Let's build out this application according to specification, pursue it as a goal. Let me see. They have dynamic workflow. Maybe it will even run. Yes. Okay. Interestingly, you can also say spin up agent teams to get this done. And it's going to spread the work among teams of agents. Going to go through this and start building. So this is the point where you can ask me questions. We can start taking questions while it's building this up, and I will explain when it's done with that, and we can check it out. Any question in house? General question on this. Online, any question? Anyone?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm
Okay,
with you.
so yes, sir. So I wanted you to explain some of the things. My apologies. We are a lot here that we are listening.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Some of us speak different languages. So, yeah. Yeah. So now the question I have is something that I think will be beneficial to everybody is why exactly are we spinning up a team of agents, and then what are the implications cost wise? So if we are doing this the first time, why should we do a team of agents instead of just using one and seeing what the output looks like, then going ahead to then use a team to finish up the task.
All right. So very good question. Thank you for asking that. So a little fast track to what we are building and the end goal. So let me share the screen again. Okay, it's in the other view. All right, it's right here. So what we're trying to do is the big lesson, the lesson and the proof point, the lesson and what we are proving here is that instead of you using open source model, paid model, wherever you are building an application, maybe for yourself, instead of you calling OpenAI, calling Anthropic model, it is possible to actually build a model that uses an LLM, but the LLM is powered directly on your device without you paying anyone. That is the first lesson we are driving at here. And this architecture is showing, okay, how do we do that? Okay, let's say an example. Remember, if we are to build this same platform we are building now, we could still be writing code to build that. But in all honesty, we've gone past those times that you have to write code to do everything. You manage agent. The real product is not the code, it's now you. Is what you're able to bring out of your mind. So we have here the platform, as you can see on the screen in the image. That's what we are building, and I will explain why we're now using probably a team of agents to build the platform. And when the platform is finished, is done building, whenever you interact with it, it's going to be sending your request to Olama, which is running on your device. And it's doing that via API endpoint. Olama will receive that result, give you the results, receive your input, generates the jokes, send it back as a JSON, and the system receive it, it format it. That's what the pass response, it format it and display the jokes on the system. And this will happen in seconds because you won't know that is what happened at the back end, but that is what is happening. And what we proved there is that, oh, I can do something that's using LLM without actually paying anyone by using a model powered on my device. The question here, the other point there is, as the use case you have become more complicated, the model you're able to run on your device might not be capable enough to run those things. But that is not the point. The point is, as you continue to go on, you are pushing the limit. There is going to be much more smaller model that will be capable going very soon. So if you have not been doing things like this, or do not know it exists, or do not know how to build that, you won't be able to maximize the opportunity when that capable model comes. Now, back to the application we are building and why we are using agents. We are spinning up teams of agents. First, these different annex, we call them annex, Harness, HARNES, they are just tools or platform that have optimized different layers on how agents run in them. Cloud Code is an harness, is the one that allows you to, you send a command, is able to do many things for you, and including what it's doing right now. The same thing, Codex is an harness. Sending a command is doing everything, whatever is able to do. Every other coding interface, including Lovable, Replit, they're all harness. Harness are wrappers. Wrappers are around API, but they just have some workflow in them that makes them capable in a few other things. So within Cloud Code, it has ability to spin off for a particular task. It can spin off, if it's complex, it can spin off different sub-agents. And what are sub-agents? In some scenario, there are tasks that are specialized to different humans. When you're building things like this, you need a back-end engineer, you need a front-end engineer, you need, Cloud Code can assume that at once and be building that out. But when you ask it to spin up teams of agents, it will realize that, okay, I need to break this down into different teams. So I need to find an agent that will go and do a research on this topic or get something like this done. And this is why you can see right here, 2 agents finished, build backend, is spin up an agent that is able to focus on backend server, another agent that is going to build the front-end UI. In fact, if you are using dynamic workflow, which I'm using for one of my projects, it spin up 34 different agents. Of course, it consumes tokens. Remember, even back here, one of the agents used 31,000 tokens. This other one, 55,000 tokens, 8 tools. If you use a simple command and you do not say spin up teams of agents, a single parent agent, which is this harness, is the one doing all the work. It could take longer time. It might not be thorough enough, depending on the scale of project you are doing. And even though it's cheaper, and sometimes you can just get the work done. But when you have things like this that you want to pay attention to some elements, you can instruct it to use teams of agents. And that way, imagine, it's only spin up 2 different agents because this is not a complex product to build. It's not a complex thing. If it is really complex one, end-to-end works, return value, oh, it's done. How long does it even take? It's done with building the product. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. We are done. So, but this is not, it's not about how fast to get the work done. Again, if you use Google Anti-Gravity, you use different models there, you might not, the UI, we've not seen the UI now. Claude is good with UI than other models, even though you give them design system and the rest. If you build your first UI and do everything with Claude, you can use Codex to do any other feature there. Codex will perfect, then we continue to use the design system. But when something is blank from ground up, Codex will do something, but it will not be as nice as Claude Code will give you. So, not sure how much of answer that provides. A single agent without spinning up teams of agents, we still get the work done. This might not work spinning off teams of agents because this is not even a complex task. But spinning up agent just means it can use dedicated agent and it has skills, and that's what the harness does. Because for each of those roles, they'll be using available skill that they have. As a front-end designer, going to use that skill to focus on that part of it. For the back end, going to use the skill for the back end. A single one can use that, but it's not just dedicated enough to go deep in some scenario. All right, so that's the best way I could describe. I could answer that question now. Yeah. Yes.
So you talked about clause spinning up different reasons. Can I have a conversation with those different reasons?
No.
Why is that?
Because there's an orchestrator. The orchestrator is the parent one. Is the one that gives instruction to those to go and get the work done and return back to him. And we take that input and continue whatever he's doing.
I don't like the quality of work an agent out of the sub-agent. What if I don't like the work that the sub-agent?
That decision is made by the orchestrator. Because the results orchestrator receive it back. Here, you see it was said that the 2 agents has finished their work. Let me see. Because they are responding back to the orchestrator. Let's go back to it. 2 agents finished. Build this one listed. Okay, we don't have much of the thoughts now. It will have explained to you exactly what is happening there. Dispatching the back-end and front-end agent in parallel. So they become faster because they're working in parallel. If it's a single one, he has to finish. He's doing all of them together, but it's not in parallel. And that result, if you don't like it, if you don't like the UI, we've not seen it, I'm going to just go back to this agent. It's not going to spin up agent teams again at this point in time, because you can still go ahead and just go there and make the changes. If you are building a product, you use work tree. So if you are working on a huge code base, you use work tree. They spin up different work tree so that this can be built in the future. It can be controlling that is using sub-agent or not. It can be controlling what is doing. And another feature is being built somewhere so that there's no conflict. And when you are done, you merge. The other one will also merge the results. But you can engage with a sub-agent because literally you don't spin it up and you don't see the result. The result is just an input for the work that is in progress.
I worry around that to an extent it's going to be like a waste of, because if I have an orchestrator, I need a project.
Yeah.
I send the results. I send that request to the orchestrator. The orchestrator has to like break it down and then give it to a sub-agent to do the work. But if I'm conversing with the sub-agent directly, it's lesser information transfer. Lesser information transfer. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but in this type of harness, it's different. It's different because instead of talking to a sub-agent, you only have one agent to talk to. This harness, this interface is the only thing we are engaging with. And the only advantage of sub-agent over a single harness is because those sub-agents are more specialized. They are specialized. This single one is still doing things, but the moment you go specialized, those ones narrow down on whatsoever is given to them. They still complete that in record time. In fact, you can't even decide what type of sub-agent it should spin up. Is the one that was going through this type of said, I'm going to dispatch this to two agents, the back end and front end agent in parallel. Because it's analyzed, what do I need to do? We can continue to do that. So you won't, it's not a waste of time. You see the same result you want, but you just decide that I'm going to use the sub-agent to do this because I think it's fit for that purpose.
So in this case, we have like content.
Yes. And he knows what to give to them because it defines whatsoever needs to be done. And then say, based on this, I'm going to spin up these two agents, sub-agents.
So for the instruction you give the content agent, is it based on our design system?
Yes, everything. You see, it's still the same agent that instead of chatting with a single interview, they are doing back and forth. But because of the nature of the work, for example, if I'm doing anything that touches, the moment your code base begins to become bigger, a single agent is doing the work, but sometimes you might want to narrow down on for this feature. In fact, if you are building a member, you want to be able to share this solution with a member, so you can do an invitation to a member. Obviously, those kind of, we touch backend, we touch database, we touch, a single one can be writing that, but sub-agents will make it easier because they will analyze a backend agent who is going to go down deep into what are the every element that needs to be done here. It's still the same agent that is doing that work, but just spin up sub-agents. See if the result is not matched. If you evaluate again, it's going to run unit tests. It's running tests, it's running everything against it. So if it does not work, it's going to go back again. Integration looks clean. Option ID, default, error shapes, all match between front end and back end. Moving to the live smoke test now. Goes ahead to carry live smoke test. And he did that, and he's back and said end-to-end works. This loaded, return 5 genuine very jokes about airport Wi-Fi in 16 seconds. The wire JSON is clean. The Python error was just called appending the HTTP status after the body. Let me leave the server running so it can be open in a browser and verify the home page renders fully by sanity checking, checking the JavaScript execute without syntax error when loaded. We can go to our this thing now, this URL, and click here. Command. This is what it built. Make me laugh. If I don't like this UI interface, of course I can say do something else. But if I click on surprise me, small talk in elevators, I can pick my UMA observational, wordplay, sarcastic, short, keep it clean, or make me laugh. So right now, is AI, but it's using Llama on my local device, and thinking is a thinking model, by the way. Gemma is a thinking model. But this UI it's not bad. Yeah, these are the 5 jokes. The thing about elevator small talk is that you are trapped with someone whose immediate concern is probably just if they remember to buy milk. What a dry joke.
That's you. Remembering if you have bought milk for Mori Mole. So that's you. But,
You feel like
honestly, Ola, I think about to read one question because I think his question was more focused on costs in terms of using sub agent instead of using a major agent. Exactly. I think I'm okay with what you said. I just want to add something. You know, most of
Yeah,
time
please.
when your agent doesn't have, let's say, the best context possible, the agent will spend a lot of token
You know,
before getting the output you are looking for.
yes.
But if the sub-agent, because the sub-agent is specialized, I think the sub-agent is more focused on the context his task is about. So that makes things faster, spending less token to get the output you want, because you will need less back and forth to get the final output you need. So I think exactly, from my own perspective, that is how, in terms of cost, that's how using sub-agent is better than using a main agent to do everything. So that's just what I want to add.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's very valid. That reminds me at the early days of this annex. In fact, when you are working with a large code base and you want to do something, in many instances, Claude will spin up sub-agent to go and do research on those code bases. Because it's not just because there's limit to how much you can take in the context window, because this model does not have, I think Opus now is 1 million tokens as context window in input. And this is a very small code base. That's why we are not bothered. Projects, commercial, corporate customers, which code base are very large, even though it has indexed the code base, it will still use sub-agents to do research. In many instances, you say, oh, let's build this feature. It's going to go back and quickly check, spin up some agent to go and look into these different areas. They come back, then use that with the new understanding before it goes ahead to even get the task done. So you're right, because we could get this result with regular one and go back again and iterate multiple times just before you get your final desire look. For me, for example, this is not what I want. Maybe the PME, me talking, what I want is something that this side, I will do my input, the right side will show the joke as a card. Single screen, no need to be scrolling down here to be checking, the different jokes. So, but I mean, running locally, is there anyone else here who has been able to run this and have something working? Probably you are using Google Anti-Gravity, or you are using Codex, or you are using anything else. Anyone? Oh, were you able to install Llama? Finally? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you take it.
You said you moved macOS.
Yeah, well, I was this. And then, well, is it M1 series? M2, okay. To be able to, yeah. Any question? Ridwan, do you want to speak to that question? Is your question answered? Okay. You are muted. Yeah. We understand. So, and that's a very helpful question, because it's create room to educate, and then and many of us were able to also learn and understand what's the difference between these two, especially a beginner who's just trying to use this annex to just write something. All of a sudden, how will I even know that you use agent teams? If it's a very big project, though, in fact, Claude by default is going to spin up agent teams. But you might not notice, might not know, because it's multiple steps it's going through. And at some point, if you are following the traces, you're going to say, I need agent teams for this, I want to do this for that. But yeah, it's good one. Now, my challenge to you is this. You have an intelligence that you can build a tool. You can build a tool that you can use, and it's using, this is LLM. in different form. Now, where's the limit? That's my question. Where's the limit? You can build many things, special purpose tool for yourself that is using on-device AI to get the work done. What's the limit? I want us to be testing and push the limit by ourselves. You have to build something that probably is not capable of doing. Talking without
No, because we're using the $20
Okay, no, I'm not saying in building, when you build an application, now you have built an application now.
Yeah.
Well, hey, yes,
You build for 20 minutes and wait for hours.
yeah, I get that. I mean, when you are done building,
Yeah.
you have this unlimited kind of unmetered intelligence now. Whatever this is an LLM literally working on your device now. Nothing. And I have, and again, this is just a scenario. Another scenario is we are building for your phone. This same model, Apple, for every Mac, Apple has 3 billion parameter model on every iPhone. If you are using iOS 26, is by default installed alongside. And you don't know because it's not the model you are chatting with, but it's the one powering several things on Apple device. But when you build a solution, an iOS app, you can tap into that AI by default without someone downloading that on your device. And it's capable of doing some things. So let me show you locally. And if there are still questions, YT, yeah, this is YT. I'm mirroring my screen right here. Okay. Pressure to Wavayo.
If you want to use it,
I mirror to the device. I can mirror to the TV. It was actually yes. I'm mirroring to the laptop. I expect it to show, but let me mirror directly to the TV.
People online will see it.
Again, they won't. That's the thing. You're right.
Oh, iPhone mirror should be on your.
No, I'm mirroring from my phone to the Mac.
Yes, iPhone mirror.
Sorry, Mr. Ibuke. Hello.
Yes. Can you
Hello?
hear us?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. I was trying to bring up my anti-gravity. So I want to link Olama to it. Can you? Sorry, I'm bringing you back. Olama network.
We're happy to help.
Like I want to connect my Olama to anti-gravity.
No, you don't need to connect. Oh, wait, sorry. Help me understand. Have you built your tool? Have you built this platform? Or you are using Olama for coding, right? Sorry. I'm trying to understand. This is Google Anti-Gravity. Can you see my screen? Let me go to the open ID.
I can see it.
Yeah. So I'm opening up the ID for Google Anti-Gravity just so that I can understand where you are and what you are describing. This Google, that's why I continue without Google just like I don't like all this unnecessary. Start fresh. Wait. Recommended. You people must not train on my data. I'd like to receive that. I agree to improve and agree to prove what. By default, I must agree. Hey. See Google. By default, I must agree that.
That's like you to go and install anti-gravity.
Yeah, I even have it installed. I'm just switching between their because they have this codex kind of annex now, something that do like codex and also the ID. They have something like this and ID. So, well, okay, now you have Google anti-gravity. What is the question? You want to connect Ollama to this?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes. For what purpose? I'm trying to understand. Sorry, are you there?
Yeah, I mean, because the agent, I thought we were using Ollama as the agent.
Ollama is the LLM that is powering this solution at the back end.
Oh.
So when you put in something, for example, now when you say try again, you want to do another joke, you say surprise me, airport Wi-Fi, and you select your all the things you need. It's going to right now it's calling Ollama right now, and Ollama will generate jokes because it's using the model on Ollama. It's going to show you the jokes.
And Ola, I
Oh,
think
okay,
that's
I get it
exactly
now.
what you're looking for. How is it calling Ollama?
Oh.
So that is the setting he's asking you about.
Oh, okay. So that operation is right there in the code. It's not Google anti-gravity that is doing that.
Oh, okay,
What
I get it now.
do you get what
Ollama
I'm saying?
runs
It's
the
not
local
Google
code. Okay.
anti-gravity. It's not the NLP that is doing that. I only use Cloud Code to build the application. But the way it's built, whenever you build an application that need a form of intelligence or AI calling, there is this there is an endpoint that you're going to call. You are calling OpenAI API,
Okay.
you are calling Anthropic API, you are calling, but instead of calling those API, you are calling Ollama endpoint. And because the model is on your device, is the one supplying the intelligence, is not ChatGPT online, is not so, and is meaning it is free.
Okay.
Where did I? Is in the
I understand
the endpoint. Yeah, I've already specified the endpoint. This is the yeah, this is the MD5. Yeah, it's already in the design, the document. You could see everything regarding yeah, let me. When I built, yes, when I built, it's going to detect because it's been built to connect with Ollama. Even before we build, Codex confirm that I have Ollama. If I don't have Ollama, I say Ollama is missing because those requirements that needs to require it is missing.
Ola, I have a question. Have you run Codex or Claude since Ollama? Because if that's what you
Since
did,
Ollama.
yes, I mean you can run Codex since Ollama, right? I mean from Ollama, my bad, from Ollama. So
Yes, yeah, you can run it from there. So, but the thing is, okay, look, you go to your terminal. You go to terminal. It's about the device. It's about the if I say Ollama, you can see now. Chat with Ollama. You can come here. Launch Cloud Code with Ollama. You can say launch Codex with Ollama.
yes.
You can see different things. If I say launch Codex app with Ollama, yeah, the reason why I don't want to do it, it's going to make some configuration change to my default codex so that I can run with Ollama. So if I say run Codex to Ollama, for example, I'm going to ask me which model do I want to use. Of course, the small one that my system can install, which anyone that does not have cloud, meaning I can install it, they are not capable enough because this is just 16 gig memory of RAM to do anything productive with my codex. So I can go with a cloud tool, a cloud model like Kimi K2.6, select enter. You see now, it's even say I must have Ollama what they call a cloud subscription to do that. So the Ollama cloud. Yes.
So we get you correctly, right?
Yes.
So one model is for building the application. The other model is, which is Ollama, is for the results we are getting on the front end. So
Yeah, okay.
So which means that like Claude is helping us, using the agents to build the front end. The only thing we are saying, the whole architecture and all of those things.
Yes.
But then the result of the jokes we are getting
Yes.
is from Olama.
Yes, it's on device. So it's not less. And the concept is you can build any other product, any other thing that the AI that is powering it will be on device.
So, okay. Right. I understand what you're saying. So at product level, we are using
Cloud code to build the product.
Build the product, but at intelligence level, which is the jokes.
Yes. Yes, on device, on device AI. But let me change this. Let me change this. Or let me even use Gemma 4, which I have on this device. Sure. Codex I provide change your hand to Olama, restart codex to use Olama. Yes. So right now, if you want to use Olama in codex, and that's what is happening right now. Do you see now? I want to use codex as an annex, but Olama is the one powering it. Let me ask, what do you understand by this project? So what is happening right now? I'm using Olama to code. It's going to use codex as my annex, but the model is using now is the Gemma 4, that small model. So it might not give any serious intelligence. It's also slow because this device is not that much capable. It's 16 gig RAM, and the model itself is about 8 point something gig RAM. And we're doing quite a lot right now. So it's trying to even, it's only return I. I asked a simple question, is returning I. It's because it does not have, let me ask again. It's only, within the annex, it does not have enough intelligent bandwidth to even process further. Yes. Yeah. So, Bola, I'm not sure if this clarifies your question now.
Oh, yes. So it means that you are calling intelligence at 2 levels. First level to build the application, second level to to power the application.
Yeah, the first level to build the application, I'm just using Claude subscription, Claude code, or you can use any other thing. You can use the Google Anti-Gravity, you can use Codex, but you are using their provided intelligence, because the one we have, the local one, if you give me a machine now that has 64 gig RAM, I will use it to build the same products. I can use Olama on that kind of machine because I will find a model that is capable that can do that. But you can't use with a smaller device. You can't be using on-device model to build product that scale without multiple errors along the way.
Okay, no, I got your point now. I think that was the confusing part because based on his question and even me, I thought you use Olama to build even the application. But right now it is clear that you use Cloud Code to build the application and now use Olama endpoint to power the application, to power the job generation, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's clear for everyone now.
Yeah, and that describes a product model that I've been talking about for a long time, that you can build a product and sell to someone, they pay once, and that is all. The product leverages AI, but you are not the one feeding them you are not the one bearing the token fee. Because once they download the product, they are using it, it can connect with the model on their own device to power the intelligence of the model of the products.
Okay.
And that's what we demonstrated here. So, and for example, this same application now for which I'm not sure why, if I restart my system, it should work now. That I used to make dictation. This application is using on-device model. Once you download the application, you yourself, you are the one that will now download the model you want to use on your device. And then the application begin to work for you.
Right.
So to answer your question again, in Google Anti-Gravity, if you have Google Anti-Gravity, this is the codex annex that they are building. This is the ID. You use your existing intelligence they provide. You can use their 3.5 low. I think this is fast, and then it consumes less token. That same product, this can build it. Gemini 3.5 Flash Low can build that. Because this is not a very hard, it's a very simple harness. It can build that for you. But Ollama is not going to power that in Google Anti-Gravity, because the model we have in Ollama is the device, not the model, is the device. If you have the device, you can load a much more powerful model. But the capability of most of our current devices now, it's not like they're big enough. 16 gig RAM, 8 gig RAM, they don't have enough bandwidth. These harnesses consume tokens, a lot of tokens, and they must be fast.
I think that's clear now.
All right. So, any question on this? Otherwise, we are done with that. And the only thing we have next, is, this is the last part now, which is what we have discussed today. Local LLMs will make cloud AI API irrelevant for most developers within 5 years. If you agree, you speak regarding that. If you disagree, you also share your own opinion. Based on what we've kind of built today, where you have a product and the AI powering the product, imagine if I build a joke generator product like this now, make me laugh, and I'm not using Ollama, and I deploy, I will have to connect at the back end my own API, and everybody playing with it, using it, they will have to, I'll be the one bearing the cost of the token. But this same tool, if I publish it online, it is possible to update the harness in a way that if you run Ollama on your device, you can be using the product, because it will be connected to Ollama on your device and use that Ollama model to power the intelligence. So here's an argument. Of course, you're able to share your thought around it. Yes, someone is trying to talk. Okay. Here's an argument that, based on this kind of thing that we demonstrated today, local LLMs will make cloud AI API irrelevant for most developers within 5 years. Is it true? Are you in support of this? Do you have any opinion to share to say, yes, I think this is going to be true? Or do you have some things to say against it? The floor is open.
Well, if I may, I'm not going to. Somebody type in order.
Where?
I thought you were doing.
No, I'm checking.
Well, so I think relevant is probably like pushing it too far, because just like you mentioned, like most people's constraint right now is still devices. And so the cloud API is still giving you more flexibility for more stuff. So to get more than
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we actually move to this, do we still have more questions? Were people able to at least finish the installation?
Now, the people we have
If you're not able to
here,
build.
yeah, the people we have here, one device cannot do that because it's using whole Apple Intel Silicon. The device cannot download many of those applications. The second one is updating the operating system, and the other one is downloadable. It works. But online wise, I have not gotten feedback except the person that asked questions regarding how to use Ollama to power Google Anti-Gravity.
Okay, now I think we can ask each person then to confirm if they were able to install the application.
Okay, over to you on louder. Let me remove this so that I can check directly. Matthew, Precious, for hearing there, Jason Tofumi, Did any of you prior to this, were you able to install or run
Yeah,
this?
I've installed the necessary applications. I'm trying to build the
Yes. So how are you doing that? Are you using Cloud Code? What annex are you using? Are you using Google
anti-gravity.
Anti-Gravity?
Yeah, anti-gravity
Yeah.
because
So
I don't have something, but they said there's a new update. I was trying to update.
okay. And did you register earlier for this event?
Yes.
So did you got the link for set up
I set
resources?
up Olama, and there are two other.
Yeah, again, you set up Olama and let me see the setup listed again. Yeah. There are two links, but the video has much more resources that, and we made it. It will make it easier actually.
I didn't check the video.
I get.
I only read the.
Yeah. It's it's Olama and download the model and install Node, right?
Yeah, they have Node.
Yeah. Install a code editor. Yeah.
Actually, I have a code editor. When I open it now, you said that. So that was on my network.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Okay. Good update. At least you are running something. Anyone else who is able to run something from their own hand as well? Especially this use case, you're able to use the material that was shared, the resources, and build something for yourself too.
Yeah, so I lost about 30 minutes because I had to step out and come back. But I'll go through the videos and just
Okay. But do you have any question regarding the concept we demonstrated that is not in the building of the tool, is in the intelligence that powers the tool? That is the AI we introduced today. It's not using local AI to build. There's going to be a session where we can be pushing limits, what can local model build, what must be the capacity of a device for that kind of model to be able to work well. That one's to come in. But when you build a product finish and you need some AI LLM model to do some work, can you now use an on-device model? Yes. And that's what we demonstrate with this. Is that concept kind of clear?
Yeah. Excellent job. Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. I think that takes us to the last part, which is just sharing thought on based on what we've talked about today. Back again here. Peter, you were really making a very great point there. You mentioned that maybe saying making cloud AI API relevant is over pushing the boundary in terms of the implication. But because one, we have restrictions today. Even though those open source models are capable, major consumers do not have the computing device that can run that level of intelligence, which will make you disregard open source, closed source model. And today was a very good example. I didn't build this platform using Olama model or using any small open source model. I had to use a capable one. In fact, even you asking me to spin up teams of agents, but then if the small model was still capable enough to take in small text and make some predictions, you could think of any kind of product you are building today, you will find limits and restrictions that some open source model will not be able to do right now because you don't have the device to even install the most capable one today. All right. So I think I also stand on that line too. I believe open source models are becoming, in fact, smaller ones are becoming much more capable. And the limitation today, before they can displace any kind of cloud model, is still compute. Even the one that people, OpenAI, Anthropic, they are all still looking for compute. Google, Google and Anthropic are still paying SpaceX about $26 billion per year. $26 billion per year for Elon Musk data center in Memphis, Colossus 1 and 2, because they are renting it. It's renting it to them. Why? Because they need enough compute power to even be able to serve that same intelligence. And so for us, the same thing. We need a much more capable machine. If you have any device now, if you are using Mac, if you can buy a device that has anything from 64 gig RAM, yeah, I would say you will enjoy. You can even, I can use Olama or any open source model to build the same product, and even much more complex one if I have a 64 gig device. What I have is 16 gig. Because from there, it's not just in the gig, every other aspect of it, the throughput, the token load time, everything it improve. And this is not even a pro, it's just M4, just M4 chip. So it's right. There won't be a time when we will not need cloud AI APIs. It's never going to happen just like that easily. There will be, but what will happen? There will be some intelligence that will be offset. There will be some things that will be offset to open source model, while something is so much dependent. Nobody today will be working in a company where you have mission critical development project and you are thinking a open source model is what you will load on your device to be working on those code. It's too costly, and it's not even something that can be sustained or can work. All right. Is there any other thoughts from people online? Bola, Ridwan, Precious, this stuff. What do you think around this?
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, on this topic, what's your position?
The challenge is usually in different fold. And then to make a decision, kind of take some level of experience and stuff like that. Because beyond just using, you want to ensure that you have to ensure that you're not being used. That's what. For local models, rightfully, there's the privacy is there. The data never leave your system.
There is a lot of echo.
Yeah, I
Ola,
think
this
maybe you have to mute. I think I can hear myself.
Let me mute here.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay. What about now?
Yeah, that's better now. I think it fits.
Yes.
Go on.
So, in terms of capability, right, and everyday use, the cloud models are still a bit way ahead. Not just because of the model architecture itself, but because of the way they are being served. See, the honest truth is, in terms of serving the model, you can't do better than what is being provided by cloud, because that's essentially their business model. And then you would have to work a lot harder to actually serve it the way they are doing it, and also make it so having a how do we call it? Having a 24 hours uptime is very difficult. So if you are going to, let's say, do those things like with your local models and stuff like that, it might be very good for you. But like Ola mentioned now, he has a device at home that is using where you can connect anywhere. Now, how to keep that device alive every single time, especially when you have people that are paying you for that particular service, is a bit difficult. And also to scale it across a lot of people, a bit difficult. So that's why I said you need to be sure that you know what you want to do and you know how to get there. So once you start, it might be good locally, but after a while you might want to move to cloud. But it's cheaper to start locally. And there are so many things to like we were discussing in the last meeting. You can always separate this task. Some of the task goes to cloud, some you do locally. Then another part of it is security too, not just privacy. The security part of it, you would have to, it's a compromise. You might be able to secure your local LLM, but for the cloud, you can do some level of secure protection, but you have to rely on whatever security is being provided by the cloud provider. So for your local, you might have 100% control over your security, which is a double-edged sword. If you do it well, it's good. If you don't, you run into problem later on. But if you use cloud, you can do some level of security to protect yourself, but you can also offset most of the security protection to the cloud, but you still have to do some yourself too. So it's a bit of compromise. And then when you are doing your design, those are decisions that you probably have to make as well. Then there's this ubiquity about open source models, so they're just everywhere. And then one of the things that we know in machine learning world is if you download a model, you usually download the model in compressed version. If you download a malicious model and you uncompress, you can infect your entire server with that malware, which is something that is, I don't know, it used to happen before, but right now it has stopped because we've like Hugging Face has a lot of ways to scan those models before they allow them to be uploaded. But people still are still looking for a way to inject those malware into it too. So those are also one or two things that um, we can look at on factors when we are looking at whether local or cloud. Privacy, security, scalability, uptime, and then performance as well. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, thanks, Ridwan. If it's echo, I think you are muted again, so it's going to be fine from your hand. Thanks. This is a very good and balanced, perspective. And yes, you made very, very important points. There's trade-off across each of those options, either for or against. None of them is totally winning. There are things to give up. There are things to bear in mind. Especially the balance today, just like you mentioned, and we've been discussing, is that over time, there's going to be something that you can actually undo with your own device, AI, with your regular device. If, for example, all this lab now, they kind of open up all the cost of serving us, meaning you have to pay for the true cost of what you are using. At that point, obviously, people will fall back to, and that's when they've discovered that some of these open source models, even with the small device they have, is enough. You want to add something together, your budget at the end of the month? Oh, I can just place that to locally AI. As simple as that is, it saves me money if I'm to be paying for everything that is being served to me by the closed lab. And you mentioned things around popularity and being ubiquitous, those models. In fact, different variants of the models. That is why I've been very skeptical regarding even LM Studio. Of course, it's sourced from Hugging Face, but you just see different people creating variants of the same model. Whenever I'm downloading a model, I'm always careful. I want to be sure it's coming from a trusted source. That's why you see this one now mapped. They're coming from a trusted source. You see different other trusted labs. You see other variant of common Gemma. Let's say Gwen 3.6, Gwen 3.6. You see, yeah. LM Studio community does not mean that, okay, this from community member, but most time I always watch out. Is it by LM Studio themselves or just an individual? Because before you know what is there, you start seeing people who are bringing different variant. Onslaught, I know this from Onslaught. Onslaught is, yep, is recognized. LM Studio is recognized. But like this one now, this Gwen, and we have a lot of people downloading it. This Gwen 3.5, 35 billion parameter model. This is from someone that I do not know. So you have to be scared, you have to be very careful that you know, even wherever the lab, the particular variant of the model you are downloading is coming from. It might be capable, it might do this. Many of them, they've said they've jailbreak all those models and then they are putting the true form there that this one will not even say no to anything you ask and the rest. Be careful as well. Because even if they've done that, it's not yours. This is, I'm not sure what is uncensored. So that is very, you raise a very important point, even regarding security, because people that do not know can download any model and can still infect their system. Of course, we expect Hugging Face to continue to protect that over time. And the lab, yeah, the harness they give is crazy. I was building a tool for a legal firm. It took me almost 3 months, and I've still not achieved the quality of a feature that you will get when you go to Cloud Chat and ask and pour some list of documents there, several documents, and ask you to write something out of that in a certain industry. And it just does it so well. You say you can do it. I say, if you are using Cloud API, you will not get that same thing from the Cloud API. It's because of the harness. They've built something so good that is useful. So even if you are not going there because of the model, you are going there because of the harness. So yeah, at the end, you still need both. Yeah. So thanks for that. Right. Any other point as we move to the end of the session for today? Any question, general question about the community, about the things we've done today, or just any observation from the members?
Quick one.
Yes.
Where would we get the recording?
Yeah, we will share via link. There'll be a mail that goes out again.
Okay.
Once the recording link is available. Once we stop recording now, Google will take some minute to process it and make the link available. Then the link will be shared. Once it's available, you get it via your email.
Okay. Also, thank you so much to the organizers and the co-organizers. It was a very insightful session.
Thank you, Precious. Thanks everyone for your support. Yep. So next 2 weeks we are meeting. We will send many communication ahead of that time. If you have joined the community, you don't even need to specifically register for next meeting session, because we will send you we'll send you all the community. You'll be able to get all our communications, the reminder about the sessions and every other thing. Please feel free to share this and recommend to your friends. We are building this our second time. We're getting this better. This is why we ask you to always fill this form here, which talks about how you want us to serve you. If there are things you are interested in specifically, of course, you will get a feedback email at the end of this, so that I can also use that to tell us what went well in this session, what we should do more of, what we should probably introduce in the coming session. We are constantly improving. We want to get to that place where we meet all your form of needs in terms of skilling up and learning in this AI era. So on behalf of the all co-organizers, we want to say a big thank you for coming and for being part of the second session of our community meetup. Bye for now, and please do have a great weekend. Stop the recording first. Stop recording.